Many of our audience are up and coming leaders, I would say, relatively early stage leaders. What advice do you give somebody who's earlier stage in their leading about leadership, Kaveh?
Well, in addition to the things I talked about before, I think there's a few other things that really matter. I think you need to start really trying to understand what's important to you early on, and that's hard and it evolves over time. But for example, recognizing early on that title and positional authority wasn't what motivated me, but intellectual curiosity motivated me more, helped me to make decisions about how I would approach certain things, maybe what kind of opportunities I would take. It would cause me to make career decisions, to take on things that I really wasn't qualified to do, um, because it was an opportunity to learn something that was just interesting and curious. Another big one is the benefit of taking meetings and meeting with as many people as you can. There's a natural tendency, I think, for people to focus on their task, and everyone is coming at you. Particularly, you might be in some position where people want to sell you things all the time, or people want to pitch you ideas, and it's easy to put up the protective shield and try to keep people out to do the work. I learned very early on, actually, from my father, he was a scientist, but he was also a salesman, and he was a gifted natural salesman. That this idea of interacting with people is pretty critical. And so I was on the opposite, which is anybody who wanted to meet with me, I figured out how to meet with them. I didn't put any real filter up, and I was genuinely interested, not for a transactional reason, but just because I was just interested in getting to know people. And I realized you can learn something from every conversation and from every person. You could also make a lot of professional friends. And it turned out, indirectly, if you sort of follow the Adam Grant kind of givers and takers, all this stuff pays itself forward in different ways. So that part of it, I think, was really important. And then the last one is the value of reading. From a superpower perspective, I think the thing that's really helped me be particularly successful is that I just read a lot. And as a result of that, my fact base is bigger than just listening to a conversation and repeating it. And over time, the value of reading has just continuously been amplified. So I encourage people to find time to read. And I don't mean, you don't have to read one domain, but it really expands your thinking. So I put that on the list too.